Hi guys, it's your girl Keisha K with Bitcraft Works, and I want to welcome you to our first YouTube series. This one is going to be about deities to use in your business. I don't really want to say to use, but to work with for your business. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It is a 3-part series. We're going to be discussing 3 different deities that can be very helpful in your business. So I'm not gonna keep you waiting in anticipation. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna put on my glasses so you guys know I'll be in teacher mode for this series. Okay, let's get started. So first things first, we're going to introduce the first one. Now, before we introduce our first deity, actually, let's talk about why we work with deities. Okay, so I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and she was explaining to me, she was like, what is a deity? What is the difference? Are they angels? Are they this? Are they ancestors? She was like, please clarify for the kid, what is a deity? So a deity is a godlike energy, and as we know, everything in the universe is energy. So we, in the occult, which simply means hidden knowledge, but if you're watching this, you probably already know that. But yeah, what we want to do is we work with them because they have ancient wisdom. When you think, or when I think of deity energies, I think about the ages in which they have gone from one age to the next. Not 1 year, but one full age, and have still survived till now. And when you talk about an energy or an entity that has been around for that long, you are talking about unlocking secrets of the universe. You are talking about tapping into the cosmos and cosmic energy. So it would be to your benefit if you are trying to make money with your business, solve people's problems with your business, or to even be effective at your service or product, that you would tap into some of this ancient wisdom and ancient instruction. And that's one of the main reasons why we work with deities. The second one, it goes to their energy. So as I stated before, they have been around for forever. And if you think about the eons and eons of souls that have come before you, and those presently on this material plane that devote energy and time to this entity, then you know that you've got quite a big bank of energy to tap into. It's endless. You could not possibly drain this savings account of amazing knowledge and energy and wisdom. And when you work with deities, you get your own downloads, and you also get some common downloads that other people can relate to, which is why when you look at certain deities, they all have different, slightly different stories, different religions or different pantheons, different practices, deal with them in different ways. So everybody gets what's best for them out of that relationship, because what you're trying to do is build a relationship. Now, this is a word of caution to anybody who hasn't ever worked with a deity or an energy. I encourage you, before you go in asking, is that you try to take the time to build a relationship. Now, I understand if you're in an emergency situation and you need to ask now because you got the information now. They are highly intelligent, especially the deity that we're going to be talking about tonight. He's actually the god of intelligence. Those are one of his many aspects. So if it is an emergency situation where you don't have time to spend a month or 40 days or whatever getting to know them and letting them get to know you, of course you can approach them with respect and allowing them the opportunity to assist you. That leads me into the third point, that there is a willingness to assist you. Now, this can get a little dicey depending on your belief, but I can only speak on my own belief and my own practice. So it has been my understanding and my experience that the deities that I'm about to introduce over this 3-part series have a willingness to assist mankind. They actually have an affinity towards humans and have no problem helping you. Now, is it okay to just, like I said, approach them just because? No, you want to build that relationship even though they're willing to assist you. The way I like to liken this is for you as a woman or you as a man, when you're starting to date someone, if you're on the first date and the appetizers haven't even come and they're asking you about helping them with their light bill, you'd be like, what? They help you how? Like, I don't even know you. So think of it in that manner, that they need to get to know you if at all possible. And after getting to know you, they will definitely have a willingness to assist you, especially in the areas that they are adept in. So let's get started. Now, the 3 deities that we're going to discuss in this series are the Lord Ganesha, the Jade Emperor, and Papa Legba. So I have chosen these 3 for one because they the first 2 are actually primordial gods. So they are the first gods that you would approach in their pantheon. And Papa Legba is the same type of energy. It is believed that in order for you to hear from ancestors or to hear from the other side, you need to approach Papa Legba first and ask him to let you have a clear path to clear and concise messages. But we'll get into him on Sunday. So today we're going to talk about the Lord Ganesha. That's who we're going to be speaking about. Now, the Lord Ganesha, as you see here, I love this picture of him, but he is an elephant-headed god. He has a human body, and he is known commonly as the remover of obstacles. So you guys are going to see me looking down because your girl is old school. I'm an 80s baby, and I write notes on notebook paper. So you'll see me up and down. So the Lord Ganesha is commonly known as the remover of obstacles, but he does so much more than remove obstacles. But the first thing I want to help you do is for you to get to know him better so you'll know whether or not he's someone you do choose and want to work with. So let's find out a little bit about his story. So the Lord Ganesha, like I said, is an elephant-headed god. He is revered in the Hindu pantheon, and you will also find him throughout the world. You can actually Google the Lord Ganesha in Japan and find that there are temples set up to him in Japan. So he's not a god that is specified to any type of culture or religion. He has a willingness to assist whomever approaches him in a very friendly and certain and confident manner. So that's been my personal experience. I myself am not subscribed to any particular pantheon. After coming out of Christianity, I feel like the girl who was in a bad relationship for a long time, I need a minute. So I have not subscribed to any particular religion or pantheon at this time. I am more of a mix it up type of girl and type of worker. So if you have not decided on a path or picked a path, I'm the girl for you. I tend to collect the good things that resonate with me, which is, I feel like, the key for any of you. Whatever resonates with you, feels good with you, works for you, use that. So back to his story. So he is revered and he is seen in different religions and different cultures. Now, there are several stories as to how the Lord Ganesha was born, who his parents are, all that good stuff. So I'm going to give you the one that was the most prevalent and the one that I feel like is closest to what works for his symbolism and on the metaphysical end of things. Now, I want to preface this by saying that any of these tales of how he was born, who his parents are, who his brother are, they are actually just tales. They're metaphors. They're ways in which to give candy to the conscious mind. It's sort of like when you tell fairy tales to children. It is a way in which for these energies to be able to give you the information about who they are, what energy they're associated with, in a very simple, childlike form of a story. And who doesn't love a story? We all love a story. So this isn't an actual belief that Ganesha was born and then this happened and then that happened, but this is a way in which to tell a story so that you can understand what energies he's related to from a human perspective, because we can only at this point recall our human experience on the flat level. So who are these two deities that you see on the screen? So the one on your right, my left, Parvati is the lady on the right, and Shiva is the gentleman on the left. Getting a little tongue-tied. So the story goes that his mother, Parvati, had him created to guard her, to take care of her, to protect her. And she was actually getting ready to take a bath one evening, and she asked Ganesha, who was a little boy in the beginning, to guard the door to her bath area. And so he was set to guard that door, and as a child, metaphorically, who would want to be obedient to their mother and do as they're told, he stood at that door with the resolve that nothing was coming through. So because she created him, when her lover or husband or partner Shiva came home, and Shiva did not recognize this little boy that Parvati had created, and he let the little boy know, he let Ganesha know that he needed to get in to see Shiva, and Ganesha was not budging. And because Ganesha wasn't budging, and because Shiva is actually his sons and him are the god of war, they move very swiftly. He chops off Ganesha's head, and then Parvati is devastated. Why did you do this? He realizes he's wrong, and this is where the tale changes depending on the part of the culture that you get it from. Either he or one of his warriors ran out to find the head of a first already deceased animal they could find, and an elephant was the animal, and he replaced his head with the elephant. So that is where the elephant head comes from in the tale of the story. The actual metaphysics behind the story can get very deep, but just remember that they are saying that he is associated with the god of war, who would have been his father, and the actual goddess who's like the mother energy of Hinduism. She is like the supreme mother type of energy. So he, as their child, would embody that energy as well. And remember in the tale that he stood at the door and that he wasn't going to let anybody in or out that wasn't what his mother or what he had been instructed to do. That's going to come up as well, because that's a part of what his energy does as well. So another part of his story and his actual parental unit, and this is the part of the story that I think is so funny because it's close to modern day. So we've all heard of like kids being adopted or women having fertility issues and not being able to have their own children. This is where Lakshmi comes in. The tale says that Lakshmi could not have her own children, and that Ganesha became her adopted son. So Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. She is all about luxury, money, success, her baubles and jewels. It's just raining down gold coins. And so you can only imagine that if she was not able to have children and was able to adopt Ganesha as her son, then she would then lavish upon whomever was good to her kid the same wealth and all of those other good things. So keep that in mind. We'll come back to how Lakshmi and Ganesha can be set up on an altar, or how you can do that in order to harness and get to know these energies and utilize them for your business. So the next thing we're going to talk about is actually, who is Ganesha and why do you even need to work with him for your business? So the Lord Ganesha is actually considered the Lord of wealth. And so his wealth is not just prosperity, like the cash money, give you the dollars, give you the cheddar, give you the cheese. He is also the God of prosperity mentally, wisdom, intelligence, higher wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And so I believe that he is so amazing for that, because I'm sure you guys have heard the stories of the people who hit the lottery and then in a year they're broke, or the people who make it big in the NBA or the NFL and then they retire and they're broke. And that is because they were given the financial prosperity, but unfortunately they did not have the mental prosperity or the spiritual prosperity to create that nice tripod of real good foundational support. So once the money comes in, it stays in. So he's really good for making sure that he prospers both your mind and your wallet. So he is also the one who is giving out blessings of success. It is said that before you start any endeavor, that you should contact the Lord Ganesha and ask him to bless your venture. We will go into that at the end, and I'll tell you exactly how to do that. He is the Lord of new beginnings, and he, of course, as you know, is the remover of obstacles and the placer of obstacles. If you guys had listened to the podcast on Sunday with Rachel Wilkinson from Life Mancy podcast, you would have heard her story of how the Lord Ganesha put a block in her spot when she did not complete a promised ritual. So please don't begin anything with him if you're not going to finish what you said you were going to do, because then you're just blocking your own way. And the reason why he works like that is because he is the destroyer of vanity and pride. This is where the Shiva in him comes from. This is where the God of war, where we're not going to do this. Because if you think about this on a natural level, someone promises you that they're going to do something for you, and then they don't do it, and then they don't give you any explanation why they didn't do it. They don't offer any type of anything. It just doesn't get done. They stop mid-process. That is a sign of their vanity and pride, because they thought that whatever they had going was more important than keeping their word to you. And it's a very prideful thing to do. So if you start something with him and you do not complete it, please know that your stuff's going to be blocked up. Like, you're going to be stopped up on quite a few areas, and not areas you want your business blocked in, because he's dealing with money, he's dealing with intelligence, and this is not the types of channels that you want blocked in your business. So he is also the patron of science and arts. And this is why I love him, because I have been in several different industries. I was a makeup artist. I was a bridal hairstylist. I create content. I've designed websites. So I do a lot of artistic types of things. And I know with helping people with tarot and Reiki healing, those are sciences. Any types of those tools are actually sciences. So if you have a tarot business, if you have a Reiki business, if you have a yoga studio, these are all types of sciences, and he is a patron of science and arts. So he would be great for your business. He is also thought of as being super helpful when it comes to people who are in creative endeavors that involve self-sacrifice. If that's not a spiritual worker, I don't know what is, because everything about being a spiritual worker entails some type of self-sacrifice. Your time, your energy, your effort, all of that is self-sacrifice. So if you think about it, he's really lining up with spiritually based businesses and helping them. The other thing is that he is actually, excuse me, he's actually considered the passport to the cosmos. So the reason why he's considered the passport to the cosmos is because of the way in which he's situated. He is the one who handles all of the obstacles. So then that means that if he leaves the gate open, you go through. If he closes it, you can't go through. And so that means a lot when you're trying to tap in, tune in to whatever energy that you're trying to manifest or utilize in your business. So that's who Ganesha is, and that's what he brings. Now let's talk about some symbolism and some results. So I got quite a few things here for his symbolism. So as I said, he's an elephant head on a boy. And so elephants have a lot of deep, ancient spiritual symbolism. I am not going to take an hour to go into the spiritualism of an elephant because we would be here all evening. And you guys got Sis Google to help you with that. But just know that elephants, just in general, they're very strong, gentle, and intelligent creatures. So when you think of that, you can think of that as how the Lord Ganesha operates. Sometimes he has 4 arms, up to 16 arms. And you think of him in 4s because it's a foundation. It's a firm foundation, 4 foundation. You guys know that. Now, in some of his depictions, he is seen mounted on top of a mouse. So a lot of people think of elephants are scared of mice. And that's not it at all. Elephants are not scared of mice. Elephants do not want to harm even small creatures. So that's the level of compassion that he has, that even for a small animal, that he doesn't want to harm them. So he's a very compassionate, he's a very open and caring energy. I've personally been working with the Lord Ganesha for going on 2 years now. I've taken courses from Dr. Pillai, who has been the foremost authority on Ganesha that I could possibly find. And so it has been my experience that he is a very gentle, that he is also very fierce. So for me, it resonates. I'm a Libra, so all about balancing those scales. You can be just as bad, or not bad, but just as furious as you can be sweet and compassionate. So he's here to help with overcoming of fears. If you have something that you're ready to launch and you're not quite sure, you can ask him. His head was actually struck off for obeying. So that lets you know how dedicated he is to requests that are given to him. He will not budge. It's just not going to budge. If that's what he has agreed to do for you, it's going to get done. The other thing is that there is a depiction of him, since he was blocking the door for his mother, that he should be facing a door. And his direction is north. So whatever is the north end of whatever room you're going to put him in the north end of the room. His colors are red and golds and oranges. And some of his offerings that have personally worked for me are coconuts that have been drained and open. And then I'll take some of the coconut water. You can use the coconut water as a spiritual bath or a shower to help bless your head. Ask him to bless you with intelligence. He can also be given peanuts. He can be given bananas. I've also, in my own meditations, I've come to end up giving him tamarinds and sweet red sweet red wine and fresh water. Nag Champa incense. Loves all of those. All those are awesome. Now, there are some energies that are trickster energies, and people tell you don't give your offering of whatever until results. I do not find that with Ganesha. With Ganesha, even now, here in my home, there are peanuts, there's sweet red wine on his altar, there are bananas right now. So I have come to find out for him what works best for he and I, and may work best for you and him as well, is that I keep his altar full of good stuff. So bounty. And if you can't keep his altar full of good stuff, water and a banana. Get a bunch of bananas, it's like $2, and get a nice cool glass of water and get started on those mantra meditations, and you will see results. Now, Ganesha's mantra is actually, and I'm going to do it for you guys, and you can find it anywhere all over YouTube. There are a ton of videos on the Lord Ganesha's mantra. So his mantra is Om Gom Ganapataye Namaha. Now, the key to him is you're supposed to say this 108 times whenever you utilize it. Now, if you're going to try to do a ritual with him, you're going to need to start off with doing 108 times for 40 days in a row. Now, this again is not not a chain you want to break, because then you're going to mess yourself up. So you can find on YouTube, there are videos of that mantra 108 times in 5 minutes. So there's really no excuse for you not to be able to get that done. Now, what you want to do when you're setting up your altar to him, to ask him for his assistance in your business. You're asking him to bless your venture. You're asking him to remove all obstacles from out of your way. You want him to bless your business with wealth of your mind and your wallet. So when you get ready to do this, you can commit to the 40 days, or you can just commit to doing the 108 times whenever you're going to visit his altar. You can commit to the 108 times when you're wanting one specific thing. Now, for me personally, if there's something that I'm wanting, just one thing, let's say I have a situation that needs to be handled, and for instance, I do ship items from China. So sometimes things get, stuck in shipment, and I need this unstuck. So what I will do, if I'm not going to commit a full 40 days, is I will get the water, I will get bananas, I will get peanuts or a coconut. I usually get a coconut because they're pretty cheap, and he really likes coconut. And I will sit the whole coconut, all of the other elements, and the fresh water on the altar. I personally do not currently have a actual statue of him. I've been using a picture for 2 years, and I have it's enough for me to be able to connect, because as you know, they do not live in statues, they do not live in pictures. It is simply symbolism for the mind to be able to connect to the energy on a subconscious level. So I will get all those things, I will put them on the altar, and I, for one thing, will choose to chant the mantra for 1,008 times. It takes you about an hour, but it depends on how bad you want this obstacle moved. So once you really get into it, you actually go into trance state, and you feel a ton of peace when you're done. You know that he's done it. You know he's accepted the offerings. You know that he's appreciated you coming to visit and give him these things. And then me personally, once I'm done with 1,008 times, I'll take the coconut, I'll drain it, stab it with a screwdriver, because I'm technical like that. And I drain it, and I take it outside in the back. There's some concrete, and I just throw it down as hard as I can and tell him, thank you for breaking the obstacle. Now, once that's done, I'll go sit it on his altar until I get my result, which is usually pretty quickly, if not 24 hours, sometimes instant. It depends on the situation. And then I throw all of that away, and I just leave fresh water on his altar. Now, you do not have to leave up an altar of him all the time. I personally do, because we've been friends for 2 years and he's working. He's working for me. And so just remember that these energies are very much alive. He's very much alive. He's tremendously intelligent. He's extremely active on the fourth moon, and he gets things done in a short amount of time. So his understanding of time and space is otherworldly. So stuff happens like that. So just know that it's not a complicated thing. So I have this photo of you guys to look at because you can see the humanity in the eyes of this photo. Now, of course, the elephant ears and all of that is still there. And this is where the story time comes in. So when I first started meditating with Lord Ganesha and his picture, I keep my eyes open and I just hone in on that image, and I'm saying that mantra, and I'm believing that what I want to be removed is being removed, and I'm visualizing it being removed, and I'm in the zone, honey. So what has been my personal experience? It has been my experience that when I really, as Abraham Hicks says, tap in, tune in, turn on, that the trunk of Ganesha's face disappears, and I see the mouth and nose in a smiling fashion. So remember that he was human. So there is a level of understanding. And you may see this too. And for me, it makes me smile mid mantra meditation zoning in, because I feel as if he sees me, he understands me, gets where I'm coming from, and things are going to be done. There's another quick story that I'll tell you about. I had drama with my internet company. I had paid all this money, and then I get home and it's off. I call the actual people, I think it was Time Warner, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I called the cable company, the internet people, and I was like, so I already paid, why is it off? And the guy was rude. Just, this is what you have to do. You have to get through this. You got to pay more money. And I was like, absolutely not. So I give my car and I'm going to the place. Forget a phone call, because you got several $100s of my money and I need my Wi-Fi. So as I'm in my car, and this was when I first started working with Ganesha, and I first really gotten into any of this knowledge, and I was like, hey, you got this knowledge, you should probably use it. So I'm at the red light and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to chant this Lord Ganesha's mantra all the way to the internet company, because they're going to give me my internet. And as I'm chanting the Om Gom Ganapataye Namaha and I'm driving, I start imagining that I'm going to walk in and I'm going to get a specific type of agent, and I'm going to tell her what the person said on the phone, and she's going to be like, girl, he's tripping, and turn my Wi-Fi back on. And if I tell you, all the way from my house to the internet company, I got green lights. Now, if anybody's in Austin, Texas, I was on Palmer Lane, and you know how hard it is for those lights to coordinate. They never coordinate. This is the only time that ever happened to me. So I saw that as a symbol that I had the green light. And when I got there, I got the agent imagined that I had seen, and she reacted the way that I'd seen, and then she turned it back on. And he got written up, but that's a whole nother story. So know that he is very much alive, intelligent, and you will definitely get results. So I hope that you guys learned a lot about the Lord Ganesha. You know how you can use him for your business, work with him for your business. And if you have any questions, hit me up at bigcraftworks.com. Hit me up on Instagram at bigcraftworks. Send me a comment or a DM and tell me whether or not this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you. The next deity that we're going to talk about is the Jade Emperor, the Heavenly King, the money man. If you want to talk about Cardi B, all of that is money. Yeah, tune in on Friday at 7 p.m. Central so you can get to know about the Jade Emperor. Now, If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you guys can leave them below. You can also shoot me an email, let me know what you thought, leave me a comment. And lastly, I do not want you guys to forget, we have our monthly business alchemy boxes that are going out in October. They will be in hands in time for Samhain. And we are giving away a free box because heck, October is my birthday month and I'm a Libra and we love gifts. So I'm trying to give a gift from me to you. And so we're going to give you a free box. One lucky person is going to get a free box. This box has oils in it from I Create Life. It has soaps from Sherelle Artifique. It's going to have herbal blends from So Blends. It's going to have some really amazing blessed candles from us. Some things that I gotten during a download. And it's 59 bucks. It's going to be well worth it. And we'll go into that later. But if you want a chance at winning a free one, just follow us on Instagram at BigCraftWorks, tag 2 friends in a giveaway posting, and we're going to announce the winner on October the 10th. 10/10, you already know. So, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you guys on Friday at 7. Bye.